You know, you can forget about all the smart thermostats and the expensive insulation just for a moment. We're going to talk about one of the most powerful and honestly most overlooked tools you have for slashing your home's energy costs. And the best part? It's 100% natural.
Does this picture look a little too familiar? You're constantly fiddling with the thermostat, you're watching that energy bill just creep higher and higher, and you feel like you're always just one step behind the weather outside. It can seriously feel like a constant, expensive fight.
But what if I told you the best solution isn't some new gadget or a pricey upgrade inside your house? What if the real key to controlling your home's climate and lowering those bills is literally growing right outside your door? Yep, we're talking about trees.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, how trees act as nature's very own climate control. Then we'll get into how they create savings in every single season. After that, we'll talk about why placement and care are so important. And finally, we'll see why this is truly a growing investment.
Okay, so let's start with the big idea here. I want you to try and stop thinking of trees as just, decoration. Start seeing them as an active, living piece of technology that actually works for your home. And the key word here really is strategic. This isn't just about the luck of having a tree nearby. It's a deliberate plan, using specific kinds of trees in very specific places to manage shade and block wind. And that directly cuts down how much you have to rely on your HVAC system.
So how does this natural tech actually work day in and day out? Well, the really incredible part is that a tree's job changes completely depending on what season it is.
Which brings us perfectly to our second section. See, a well-placed tree isn't just a summer thing or a winter helper. It's like a year-round employee whose only job is to cut your energy costs. And this really shows the two different jobs perfectly. In the summer, what you want are deciduous trees, the kind that lose their leaves in the fall, on the south and west sides of your house. Their leaves create this dense canopy that acts just like a natural air conditioner. But in the winter, their job totally flips. That's when you want evergreen trees on the north and northwest sides to act like a living shield, blocking those freezing cold winds.
And we are not talking about a small effect here. As our source material points out, especially in hot climates, that direct sun is just relentless. It basically bakes your home, forcing your air conditioner to work overtime around the clock just to keep things bearable.
The results of that shade are things you can feel right away. It's not just that it lowers the temperature inside, it means your AC is running way less, which puts less wear and tear on the whole system, and hey, you get the bonus of cooler patios and decks, which is always nice.
So, if there's one number to remember, it's this one right here. 30%. That is a massive potential saving on your cooling costs just from having the right trees in the right spot. It's got to be one of the highest impact, lowest tech upgrades you can possibly make.
Now let's look at what happens when it gets cold. This is where it gets really clever. Those same deciduous trees that shaded your house all summer, they now drop their leaves, which lets all that valuable winter sun stream right in to warm your home naturally. And at the exact same time, your evergreens are on duty, taking the full force of that harsh winter wind.
Okay, so we know why this whole thing works. Now for the most important part, how do you actually make it happen? This is where we shift from theory into a practical, real-world strategy that you can use.
This is the big question, isn't it? It's one thing to know that trees can save you a bunch of money, but how do you make sure you're actually getting that 30% savings and not just planting a future headache?
It really all comes down to these three simple rules. First up, location. You want your leafy, deciduous trees on the south and west sides, where that summer sun is the most brutal. Second, type. Use your evergreens on the north and northwest sides, where the winter winds hit the hardest. And third, and this is so important, safety. Always plant a safe distance from your house's foundation, your roof, and especially power lines to avoid some really serious problems down the road.
And look, this isn't a set it and forget it kind of deal. A tree is a living thing, and just like any high-performance tool, it needs maintenance to do its job right. An unhealthy tree doesn't just stop saving you money, it can actually become a hazard.
So what does that mean? Well, it means paying attention to its health. Getting it professionally trimmed and pruned ensures you have a dense, effective canopy for shade and a strong structure against the wind. Regular checkups can catch diseases early, and proactive care can prevent damage during big storms. A healthy tree is an energy-efficient tree. It's that simple. So for our last section, let's just zoom out for a minute. Because while saving money on your energy bill is obviously a fantastic benefit, the value of a mature, healthy tree goes so much further than that.
When you really look at the total payoff,
the energy savings are just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. As you can see here, you're also making a pretty significant investment in your property's value, and you're helping out the local environment at the same time.
I mean, think about it. Mature trees are one of the only home improvements that actually grows in value over time. They boost your curb appeal, they literally clean the air around your home, and they can even act as a natural barrier to noise pollution.
You know, this quote from the source material just sums it all up perfectly. Investing in smart tree care isn't a choice between helping your wallet or helping the planet. It's one of those rare things that actually does both at the exact same time. So, the next time you look out your window, try not to just see a lawn or a garden. See it as a powerful, untapped resource. And that really leaves you with one big question to think about. What is the true potential that's already growing right there in your own yard?